So in the final subtask of the CSV Data Analyzer project, we are going to be sorting the data. That is, we are going to be building the function which is going to sort the data in an ascending order. So over here we have a new concept over here in which we are going to use the sorted function. So let me just explain how this works. So we have a list of dictionaries over here. There is a list of rows. And what we will be doing is we'll be storing the sorted list over here in B. So we're going to call the sorted function and we're going to give the list A as an input. Now what is this key equal to lambda x colon x age? So lambda is basically a simple way of defining a function in a single line. Instead of writing a function name in one line and then defining the function in the next line, we can simply write lambda x colon x age. So you might be wondering, why have we given lambda? Why not simply give x of age? For one, we have not defined x outside, so it won't work. And secondly, the sorted function requires the list and a function as an input. So over here, x dot age gives out a single value. We cannot give value as an input over here. We need to give a function as an input over here. So let's say we didn't use lambda, we would have to define an entirely new function, and that would simply waste our space and make the code less efficient. Instead, we'll just simply define it as lambda x colon x age. So you can tell that lambda is a placeholder function. So x colon x means we have a value x, that is x will be the row. So we're going to give lambda x such that x of age will be given. That is, for a particular row, the value under the age column will be returned. So basically A is the list of dictionaries which you're going to be sorting, and over here this particular function or this entire sentence, that is the value present in each dictionary of this particular list, is going to be given as an input over here to sort, and then we're going to print out the sorted list, and this will be our output when we print it out. So over here we've given x of age, so it's going to sort out only based on the age column. But here we are going to give user the option to choose based on which they want to sort. Now let's look at the task for this particular subtask. So the sort data function should meet the following requirements. First and foremost, we're going to handle empty data. We're going to give out an error message in case the data is empty. And then we're going to ask the user to give a column based on which we want to sort. And if the column doesn't exist, we're going to give an error message over here. And then we're going to define the sorting logic, that is this particular line over here. And then we're simply going to display the results. So here we have the expected output. Now let's look at the code. So we've imported the two modules over here, and this particular function has been explained in the previous subtask. Now in the sort data function over here, first we're going to handle empty data. That is, if the data is empty, then we're going to print out no data available and return nothing. So over here we're going to be taking input from the user as to which column they want to sort by. And then we're going to check whether or not that column exists in the particular list. That is, if column is not in data 0, that is, we're going to print out invalid column name and we're going to return null. And then over here, we're going to store the sorted data in this sorted data variable, and we are going to call the sorted function. And as I explained previously, data is the list which you want to sort, and this is the particular function which is going to take as an input. Basically, we're going to take x such that x of column, that is column being the input which you got from the user, that is, we're going to take each value in this particular column for each row, and we're going to sort it, and then we're going to print out sorted data, and then we're going to pass on the sorted data list to this particular function. And these three functions over here have also been explained in the previous subtask. Now in the main function, we have the usual welcome to CSV Data Analyzer printed out. We're going to input the file, and if there is no file, then we're going to exit the program, and then we're going to run an infinite loop over here, which is going to display the user all the choices based on which they can perform functions on their CSV file. And then we're going to take choices and input and redirect the user accordingly. So let's just run this function once. So let me give the name of my data set as data.csv because that's what we are given over here. Let me sort data. So let's say I sort by age. So you can see the age has been sorted in ascending order. One thing to notice is here we have sorted according to ascending order. So let's just submit this once. So you can see we have passed all the test cases. So we have completed the CSV Data Analyzer project using Python. And this project was from our course Python Projects for Beginners, where we have 11 different Python projects from which users can get familiar with Python. And it's very beginner friendly. You can try it out if you're interested. And if you're watching this on YouTube, maybe try heading over to CodeChef and try this out, or maybe try out other courses which might interest you. And if you're watching this on CodeChef, great job diving into the solution. Move on to the next project. Thank you.